Alrighty then. What up, what up, what up? It's Real Deal Fantasy HQ with your boy LQ with very special guests, my boys, Sean and Cody.
Let's
go.
Let's get this draft underway.
All right, I'm interested to see how this goes. First mock draft after the NFL draft.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to keep everyone in suspense. We got a whole minute and a half that I have to draft here. So let's see. Hold on. Hey, everybody okay? Everybody in bed? Okay. All right. Yeah, everyone's good there. Let me check out my keyboard. Yeah, is there any cash? Nope, no cash in there. Okay, let's see.
And then he's still going to take his number one pick to the bank.
There you go. There you go.
Number 2. This one should be obvious as well.
Energy.
Oh, they might spice it up.
What a name.
Whoa.
Zeke.
That is a little bit of a surprise.
Wow. We did get a little spicy real quick.
Yeah. That's a little shocking.
Yeah, especially considering, the Cowboys went and drafted another weapon, which is just, more targets spread around in that offense. Surprised Zeke went 2, but he could finish as RB2. It wouldn't be the most surprising thing in the world.
Yeah, he's still like a top 3. But deep dive, he should be going Saquon.
I would have thought Saquon, 100%. They drafted a new offensive lineman. They got Danny Dimes there now throwing for a full season. I think I would have gone Saquon myself. But I already took Christian, so who cares?
There he is.
Saquon's gone.
Yep, no surprise there.
All right, what are you going to do, buddy?
Dalvin Cook.
Oh, Dalvin. Good call, bud.
Well, at this point, I think that upper tier of running backs is gone. I'm going to take the best wide receiver in football.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Michael Thomas.
Got to.
Thomas.
Got to. It's a no-brainer right there.
Yep, I think so.
Got to.
Yeah, he's just too good to pass up.
Oh, we got an echo going on YouTube.
Yeah, I had to mute my YouTube, actually.
Mine just started playing out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, actually. I'm watching me. I am not a good-looking person on YouTube. That's what I can tell you right now. I am not a good-looking person. So I'm assuming
Nick Chubb on right there.
Nick Chubb. I think he's looking directly at a ranking. So I think I saw Chubb was like in the top 10 on the Dynasty thing. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, actually, tell you the truth.
I was hoping I was going to land Chubb, but
I've been seeing Chubb go in the back end of the first round. At 7, I've seen crazier things.
That is true. We done a couple of mock drafts where we've seen crazy things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right now we're waiting on Tyler.
I'm looking at this. Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas. So I'm just going to, I know we're kind of competing against each other here and everything, but has Deandre Hopkins really fallen that far going to Arizona that he wouldn't go in one of these spots here?
That's where I expected him to go where Chubb was at.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
And I think he's actually going to be one that people do kind of stay away from a little bit. And I think people are going to get value when they draft him. If you can get DeAndre Hopkins at the back end of the first round, that's a steal. I mean, he's an unbelievable talent.
Yep, he is.
And there it is.
The auto draft.
And there he is.
Are they watching us on YouTube and listening? Is that what they're saying?
Yep.
That's pretty crazy.
That's smart. I mean, honestly, that's what you should be doing. Is listening to us and then making your fantasy football opinions totally based on that and no other information.
Cody got the right
wrong
idea.
with that. 100%.
I'll take it.
Thinking.
Devontae Adams, okay.
He is going to get all of the targets since the Packers decided that they didn't want to help out Aaron Rodgers at all during the draft.
But who will be throwing him the football? Ooh.
Yeah. I think Jordan Love in that offense really is going to feed Devontae Adams.
Oh, this is interesting, actually, to tell you the truth.
Oh, my God.
That is an interesting pick. That is an interesting pick.
I keep seeing Chris Godwin go ahead of Mike Evans. I don't hate it,
fair,
but
it's fair to do. It's not bad. It's not terrible. I'll take it.
It's not terrible, but okay. So that's 100% because of Tom Brady that was taken, right?
More or less. I think even without Tom Brady, I was taking Godwin either early second or late first, to be honest with you. If I have the 12th pick.
In that Bruce Arians offense, they are just slinging the ball down the field.
Yeah.
I still can't see taking Godwin over Evans at this point right now. I know he had a fantastic year and Evans had some struggles, especially at the end, but I couldn't personally do it.
Yeah. Well, no. I think that Mike Evans, the biggest issue was his hamstring at the end of the year is why he struggled. So people remember.
I was one of them. I was definitely one of the people he burned, but I actually knew what I was getting into drafting him. So, there it is.
Yeah. And he's had some hamstring issues in the past. It's not something
those kind of linger. Like once you get the hamstring, it kind of is what it is.
Just ask T.Y. Hilton, man. That's his entire career.
It's true.
That's something he just cannot shake.
Would we end up with the best available there?
Yeah. Juju and Lamar.
All right, well, never mind.
He picked my two least favorite wide receivers.
I was about to say, Jesus.
They're fun to watch, but from a fantasy perspective, Juju Smith-Schuster and Amari Cooper are both incredibly frustrating.
Yeah. I would hate to be that owner.
Josh Jacobs.
That's a great pick. He's who I had my eye on if he landed at the end there.
There is a running back who has yet to be. Never mind.
Derrick Henry.
Keep my mouth shut. And
you were about to utter it. I was thinking it.
I was going to say I was shocked he made it this far, and he was not going to make it past you. So
I think this is where he stops at in all drafts, no matter what. Right there. There's no way he should get any further than where I got him. No way.
Yeah, and the only thing that worries me a little bit with him is how many times can you give a guy 400 touches? But
run him to the ground. He's on a franchise tag.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true.
Well, we got Tyler on the clock.
Now, this is actually really interesting. If you looking at the who's still out there who probably would have fallen here. Joe Mixon. That's interesting. I don't know. I think Joe Mixon is actually really interesting considering they got a brand new quarterback there. Probably a little fresh leave on life. I don't know. I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and Joe Mixon in and of himself is a good talent. He's a great talent, and he's had solid years behind what the last 2 years have been terrible offensive lines for the Bengals. In what should be a much improved offense, it should increase his scoring opportunity for touchdowns. I like it. I think he has a better year than a lot of people think, just because he wears the Bengals jersey.
Listen, I think
Joe Burrow comes there with some swag, so he definitely brings some motivation into that locker room. So I think the spirits are going to be up. So they're definitely going to want to play even harder now with the new face, a new quarterback there.
And I said it in our last time together. At least from a daily fantasy standpoint, Joe Mixon was an incredibly valuable player all season long on DraftKings and on FanDuel, and that only translates to seasonal, especially with a new quarterback.
Might get an auto draft at a fantasy session. Fantasy in session. I'm sorry. Shout out to you guys.
Fantasy in session. How you doing, fellas?
who would be the number one pick here? Mike Evans? Is that who? Is that what chalk is? All right.
Mike Evans. I think that's
Mike Evans, best available. But I think I know where I'm going.
Yeah, I definitely know where I'm going here. I don't know why he's still on the board. I don't think he should ever make it this far without being drafted, but I will take Julio Jones. Give me the all of the South wide receivers.
Good pick.
Yeah.
I honestly think Paul Ryan would have took Julio right there instead of Amari Cooper. Look at that stack, though. Mike Thomas and Julio Jones. Oof.
I know.
I don't normally go 2 wide receivers, but you have 2 of the best in the game.
The first rookie off the board.
I was going to say, first rookie off the board.
Hey,
Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Wow.
What a reach.
Man.
That's not the first. I don't know. That's not my first choice for as far as rookies go. But
what a reach.
That's guts. That's guts. It takes guts to win fantasy championships, and that's a gutsy
Go get your
play.
guy. I applaud you. Go get your guy. If you like him, go get him.
I know who I'm going. I know where I'm going.
Yeah,
Aaron Jones. Oh, it might be RIP. It might be RIP Aaron Jones. I don't know.
And you say that them drafting a running back in the second round is very, very curious. I'm interested to see how his touches are managed next year. I don't think they treat him like a bell cow guy.
My pick right here is leaning on the fact that it's Jamal Williams who takes more of a hit than Aaron Jones in this offense.
For sure.
But, I think that you guys think I'm crazy for taking Aaron Jones there. You're gonna think I'm even crazier. But what you just said there, Aaron Jones lease on life. You know who doesn't have a lease on life? Boom. That's who.
Ooh, Patty in the third over Lamar Jackson.
I mean, I have Patrick Mahomes as my quarterback 1 solely based off of the fact that if just probability, the chance that Lamar Jackson gets hurt is much higher than the chance that Patrick Mahomes gets hurt.
Yes, it is.
Patrick Mahomes has been a dog. Granted, he missed a couple games last year, kind of a fluke.
And I blame Andy Reid for that injury, by the way.
They're 1A and 1B. I mean, there's no – Patrick Mahomes, he was like 3rd and short, and he ran the ball. Tried to make a play. I get it.
Yeah, right in the goal line. But Andy Reid shouldn't have called that. Why are you calling a QB sneak with your best player on the field right now to do it? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Man, deep dive, taking Austin Eckler there. I was hoping he would drop to me. I've been a fan of him all
off. You are heavy.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's a lot of good wide receivers on the board yet.
Yeah.
A lot of good wide receivers on the board.
I'll tell you the one reason why I have Pat Mahomes over Pat Mahomes at number 1. He's got the world champion schedule coming up too. You got to keep that in mind. His strength of schedule, he's coming off a championship win. I think that he's going to have a banner year.
You don't think it'll be a slump? Super Bowl slump?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Did you see how happy he was? They got a running back in the first round. I mean, he tweeted out this big fight. He's psyched. I'm psyched. He's my guy.
Well, I'm going to go with the other quarterback being drafted at the top there, Lamar Jackson. Give me all the points. Give me all the points.
Very nice. Very nice.
I like Sutton there.
See, I don't know. I'm interested to see how Sutton's affected by because they added both Jerry Jeudy and they added the guy from Penn State, wide receiver. I can't remember him off the top of my head.
Handley or something like that.
I'm going to do some Googling. I got a computer right here.
You know what? Oh, my God. I might regret this, but it's a
KJ Hamler. That's who they drafted.
It's a mock draft, so I'm going to go with my 2 studs that brung me to the championship last year, but I did lose.
Those are some beefy running backs.
Oh, yeah. But, again, I got to keep preaching it. Fournette will not see 70 targets. I mean, he will not see 70 receptions, I should say. That won't happen again.
Yeah, the thing that worries me about that Jacksonville team is just I think the offense as a whole is going to take a step back.
They're dysfunctional as hell, bro. Like, you just can't really pin it to if they're going to be good or not.
Wow, Russell Wilson gone.
Russell Wilson, that's really early. I'm a little surprised there. I will be honest. I made Russell Wilson. I probably would wait until third or fourth, maybe if I'm desperate to take a QB. If a lot of QBs are coming off the board, but
I mean,
Wilson taking that early, I don't know.
It's not a terrible pick because look, they have the back-to-back. You know what I mean? So if he was going in the fourth, it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah, but can you really
get the person you want?
But do you also recall Russell Wilson's 2019 season where they won the most games with him throwing the fewest passes? They were run heavy first, run first team, and I don't see that changing. They didn't make any big switches in their receiving core. They didn't draft a receiver. I think that it's going to be more of the same, and I get a little worried about Russell Wilson's lack of production on the field. You know, taking him as my QB1 that early.
Yeah, the thing is,
I'll give them the reach.
I don't have an issue with Russell Wilson being your quarterback, but that early I think is a little bit of a stretch. In the third round, they're still, especially not having a quarterback or not having a running back there. I know I went wide receiver, quarterback, but I mean, I think there's a pretty substantial difference between the
there's
Lamar Jackson versus Russ.
I don't think that. Excuse me. I am absolutely fine with Russell Wilson being my QB1 on week 1. I just don't know about Russell Wilson being drafted that early in a 10-round draft.
Let's see what they do here.
Okay, I'm just going to throw Paul Ryan's whole team as a wash there, considering he's
he's an Ole Miss fan.
He's just going to draft his entire roster as wide receivers.
Plenty of targets to go around.
Plenty
of targets to go around.
The problem is he has a player on his roster right now who's going to sit the bench at some point. Like, you cannot start all of them.
I'm gonna go with Juju.
Yeah, it might be his first one, honestly.
Yeah, probably
the first guy that's gonna sit.
Yeah, probably first casualty.
Okay, just kind of taking a look at who's left.
Todd Gurley. Whoa.
Now that's an interesting one.
I don't. At this point in the draft, I don't hate it. I mean, he needed a running back. He's an established guy on a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Taylor. No. Go ahead, Sean.
I don't think I hate it either.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think Gurley's going to have some.
That is a shock.
Jonathan Taylor?
Is a shock.
Undo.
I'm looking at some of these. I can't believe there's 2 rookies already gone. This has to be biased because the draft was the other night.
See,
it has to be.
But there's been a rookie finish in the top 20 running backs every year for at least the last 3.
That is
true.
Last year you had Josh Jacobs. The year before that, you had Saquon. I mean,
yeah, I understand that. Hold on. I understand that. But look at the 2 situations you're talking about. Josh Jacobs went into that Raiders team as the number 1, as the starting running back. He was drafted that way. That's how he started week 1. Saquon Barkley was drafted that way. That's how he started week 1. Neither of these guys are guaranteed that type of position in their starting thing, and they're being taken in the first 3 rounds of a draft. Even if it's a mock draft, still, I think it's a little hasty.
Yeah, I think my favorite
Edwards is definitely hasty. Taylor, I think he's going to come in and take that job ASAP.
Yeah, I think he's too talented. I mean,
I think he is too, but we're not. But I think we're all in agreement that he has to earn it. He has to win it.
Yeah.
The keys to the kingdom aren't being handed to him just by being drafted in the same way the 2 examples you gave a minute ago were.
If anything, Nyheim Hines gets that major boost. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
No reaching. If he's
if I'm not mistaken, this is the final year of Melvin Gordon's contract too, right?
I mean, Marlon Mack?
Marlon Mack, yeah.
Yep, he's looking to cash in, and that's not going to happen.
No way.
Not going to happen. He may be on the move. Just don't know where.
Way too injury prone.
Yeah. 3 seasons, can't stay healthy for any of them. Yeah, you can't cash in. Oh man, Cody, focus. I know what you're thinking. Go ahead. Do the stack.
Yeah. Go right ahead, man.
Go ahead.
Go right ahead.
That stack is sitting right there for you.
You know you
He's
want
not gonna
it.
make it the way back.
I had a big stack of pancakes today, and they don't even look as good as your thing right there.
Ooh. The underdog.
Interesting pick.
Seattle was a team that I thought was maybe in the market to draft a running back. They didn't. I think Chris Carson.
He came out as a winner this weekend, I tell you that.
Yes, he did.
I'm surprised I didn't see Rashad Penny get any trade offers. Because he's waiting to explode. He just can't. Chris Carson, he cannot fend him off. Like, it's just, you can't.
You can't. And Chris Carson, for all intents and purposes, shouldn't be fended off. The guy's a beast. He's an absolute beast.
Yeah. He cannot beat him.
Well, and he does what they need to do in that offense. They focus on the run, but use that to exploit the play action. He's a guy who's a thumper. He can do well in pass pro. I mean, he fits that scheme well, and I think that's something that doesn't.
He looks for contact. I love running backs like that.
Yeah.
As long as he can hold on to the football. He had some fumbling issues.
He does have a fumble issue. That's why. Yeah. That's another thing I keep forgetting about him. He has a fumbling problem.
Yeah, fumbleitis. Hold on to the football. I think he's going to be just fine and secure his spot.
Big guys on the clock now. Let's see. There's a ton of rookies right here. Ton of them. They're just begging me to hit one of them, but it's tough. And I'm going to talk this through. I'm not going to name names because that's weird, right? So we're just going to use adjectives. So we get the supposed best route runner in the draft. I do need a wide receiver here. I don't know. Or maybe I take maybe I go with this guy right here, just to see what he's going to do.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
And then just to double up on it, I will take the best route runner in the draft.
I don't hate it. I think, to me, I'm not a huge fan of where CD's at. Just because I'll be really curious to see how those wide receiver targets turn out. I think CD Lamb could pass Michael Gallup in targets. I mean, he's no hate on Michael Gallup at CD
especially
Lamb.
If he's in a slot.
CD Lamb
is in a slot. That's going to be interesting to see how they work that out. Gallup definitely takes a hit on that, though.
Energy was doubling up on the tight ends.
What?
Whoa!
That is interesting.
You know what? I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I don't.
That's a draft strategy we really don't see.
You could throw one in your flex.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And of the 2 tight ends that he has, I think he has 2 of the more consistent from a targets and catches standpoint.
Yeah, volume and production wise, he's hitting good.
Yep. Now the Eagles did go out of their way to draft a lot of receiving talent to help, and they traded for Marquise Lee. Was it? No, Goodwin. Yeah.
No.
So.
And
Patriots signed it. Patriots signed Marquise Lee. The Patriots signed Marquise Lee to a 1-year contract.
That is right.
There he is. Mark Andrews is gone. I thought he was going to fall to you, Cody. I think
I'm going to wait on a tight end in this draft. I think I'm going to try to load up on running back a little bit since I didn't grab one in the first 3 rounds, just to kind of make sure that, I have some options. There.
Spoken like a guy who just saw 2 tight ends go off right away. I got some options. Don't worry. It's a long draft. It's a long night. Don't worry about it.
I think I have an idea of where I'm going to take a tight end.
Am I able to drink a beer on YouTube? Is that allowed? Is that good?
Full send.
Okay.
Full send.
All right. I'll put a I don't know. I am kind of thirsty, so I gotta find something to put in as a placeholder. Unless you could give me a color, I'm just gonna get a Miller High Life over out of the fridge there.
Miller High Life.
Hey, the champagne and beers, brother. And as the winner of this draft, I'm predicting it already. I'm gonna need champagne. All right. So, just saying.
First of all, how did that Cam Akers pick go under the radar by Tyler?
I think he's in Cam Akers as far as running backs go, might be in one of the better positions as far as where he was drafted. Because I think he can go in and be that number one role.
I don't know who has a better position than Cam Akers right now, if I think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of
I think you're right.
Have another piece. I wasn't a huge believer in Henderson before Cam Akers was picked, but a lot of the other rookie guys, DeAndre Swift has Kerryon Johnson, J.K. Dobbins has Mark Ingram.
Deebo Samuel. Interesting.
That's his fourth wide receiver taken. Quite a few.
Terry McLaurin.
I love that pick.
That's a good. I like that too.
I love that pick.
I like that too. I was looking at him earlier.
Yeah,
what a stud! What a performance last year. And only things better. Dwayne Haskins now is going to be, starting with the first team, practicing with the first team. Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, but I think the other thing too is when you look at the draft, Washington seemed to be pretty satisfied with the weapons that they had. They didn't draft any, wide receivers in the first 2 rounds. So,
David Montgomery, that is a very interesting pick right there.
Wow.
I'm just curious, was he listed as like best available right there? I mean, that to me is another guy that I think probably I would have waited on myself. I don't think I needed to rush out to get him if I wanted him. I didn't think I would have.
Yeah, the Bears just haven't had really a good running back in that offense or a consistent fantasy running back in that offense since Matt Forte. It's been a while.
I did it.
You did it.
Kyler Murray, my guy.
Did it.
I think he's going to be a stud.
But I did it.
Oh man, I think he is going to be the sleeper pick of the whole draft from a QB perspective this year.
He got a lot of big things ahead of him where he has probably one of the best wide receivers in the game right now. So
for sure.
Excuses.
Yeah, but you couple that with rushing. I mean, his rushing ability is solid. So.
And that receiver's coming into it with a chip on his shoulder, I can guarantee you.
Yep. Robert Woods like to pick. I think there's some better wide receivers on the board yet, but
yeah, I don't know what this. It does seem very strange to me. This is a strange draft.
I can't be a homer here, but Robert Woods has been consistent week to week, so that's all I'm gonna say.
Absolutely. There's no question. Robert Woods is an awesome talent, great asset to a team. It's just odd how these things are falling.
I just looking at some of the wide receivers available. I just think there are some guys that will out-touch or out-target Robert Woods. And I think in PPR, it's a ton of value comes in your opportunity.
I know my next pick right now.
I'm going to be on the clock in a minute, brother.
Yes,
Let's see it.
Oh. Auto draft. Who did they get?
Jarvis?
Jarvis Landry.
Hey.
I don't know about that one.
I mean, Jarvis Landry is going to get a handful of targets, but
while we're sitting here waiting here, and we were talking about Washington earlier, that Terry McLaurin pick. Do we have any status update on Darius Geis? Is he back healthy? Is he be practicing? Is he back? What's going on there?
I mean, he seems to be.
I haven't heard a thing out of Washington on that.
Can't trust him. Swifty, get Swifty.
I don't hate the pick there. The issue with Swift in my mind is, man, if you're going to have him be the first running back selected on your team, I would select a running back who's going to be, priority, and that's I don't know.
Well, okay, let me ask.
Lamar Jackson running all over the field. It doesn't seem like logical.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question though, right? So we are looking at this round where we are. Some of the other names, would you have picked him before you would have picked Devin Singletary? Would you pick him before?
No.
Okay. What about James Conner?
No.
Yes, I would.
Really?
You would? Really?
For Conner, yeah.
Interesting.
At least I know he'll be healthy. Put it like that. That's how I know. Conner's a little soft.
A little soft.
Pondo going with Dak Prescott. I think he got great value there in the 6th.
Yeah, he did.
Tons of weapons in that offense. Tons of weapons in that offense. And Dak Prescott runs too. He can add value with his legs.
Hey, one more on the Swift versus. Okay, what about? Would you have drafted Swift over Kerryon Johnson?
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
I think
That's the same. I look at it the same with James Conner. Definitely.
Yeah,
so
I
really,
think he takes over that starting role.
So I know we all kind of poo-pooed that little Swift move there, but really, the only guy that's still available in this top tier that we think that should have been drafted before Swift is Devin Singletary on a unanimous decision. So it wasn't that bad.
Shy completely away from Singletary because he still had Frank Gore there that was like pestering touches and touchdowns. So Singletary was still productive. So maybe this Zach Moss thing is just smoke and mirrors and everybody's panicking too soon. I'm probably one of the people too as well, but maybe I still take Singletary where originally I was going to take him.
I personally love Devin Singletary, and I hate the Buffalo Bills as a Patriots fan. But Devin Singletary is a hell of a player. He clearly had Frank Gore in front of him, and that's why he did not have probably a season that we thought he was going to have.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be his breakout season. You know what? I'm going to stop talking about it. You know what I mean? My pick's coming up. I'm just going to stop talking about him.
Let's keep it on the hush.
Devin Singletary was just selected.
There you go.
See, somebody's listening out there. That's right. The guy from New England. He knows what he's talking about.
So I want to talk about a guy, but if he falls to me, then I'm going to be pissed that I'm talking about him. So I'm just going to
Now listen, you keep talking. I'm going to get a Miller High Life. I am going to let this stay on the Lego chicken. So this is a Lego chicken that my daughter got. She hasn't put it together yet. So we're going to put that there. Lego chicken is going to auto draft for me while I go get my Miller High Life. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, we were talking running backs and about who we would take over who.
Yeah.
I'm taking David. I'd take David Johnson over DeAndre Swift,
I think. Good pick.
And Raheem Mostert. Raheem Mostert going next. But yeah, I think obviously Houston didn't have the draft capital to draft a running back. And if you were going to trade for a guy, and T.Y. Hilton was the other wide receiver that I was thinking. I was like, I didn't want to say anything, but I think he's better than a lot of the wide receivers selected. I know they drafted Michael Pittman, but T.Y. Hilton's still the front runner.
Paris Campbell didn't pop off like I thought he would last season as well. Mm-hmm. So Paris Campbell was like poised to have like this big ass season, but it didn't happen.
Yep. Yeah. So in my mind, I mean, I got David Johnson at 6'8". If I can get the guy who's going to lead his team in touches at the running back position, and he's probably going to be top 2 or 3 in targets on his team, I'll take that every time because, I mean, right now you have as your wide receiver weapons, you have Cooks and Fuller. Neither one has been able to stay healthy for a full season. Give me David Johnson. He's going to soak up all of those targets.
Yeah, I necessarily don't think David Johnson will be hurt or injured throughout the season, but, knock on wood, But that's a good pick. Good pick.
I think it is too. Really solid pick. Great ideas. Great thoughts, especially about injury worries about his surrounding cast.
How did we skate past that Le'Veon Bell pick as well? How did we skate past that so fast?
Look, I don't know.
Number one, listen, I was gone, so you're gonna blame the Lego chicken on that, okay? All right, but
no, you were here. You were definitely here.
I was. Are you sure?
Yeah, that was my pick in round 5. But, I mean,
he didn't even say anything. He's just like, yeah, Le'Veon Bell.
I'm not. Everybody knows I am a hater of the Jets offense through and through. Not a fan. Adam Gase ruins fantasy teams and real teams alike. I think he will be out of a job this offseason. But
as he should.
Le'Veon Bell, he gets targets. He gets touches. I don't know. Yeah.
And I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it, and only because this guy helped me come in second last year in my league. There we go.
There you go.
And I'm going to come back around with another guy who I held on to way too long, but I'm hoping, really, really hoping, that with the new quarterback situation, he might be a stud that comes back and takes me to a promised land. So give me 1 second here. Let me find him. You got any music you could play while I'm looking through here?
Oh, you gotta go. You gotta scroll down to find him, huh? I'm actually
to that elevator. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm looking. Right there.
Whoa, that's a homer pick, buddy.
That's a hometown pick, bro. That's a hometown pick.
Call me. You can call him Homer all day long. At the end of the day, he's going to lead that Patriots wide receiver group in targets.
Nobody else. Nobody else.
Opportunity is king. He is going to lead his team in targets.
Security blanket pick right there.
Exactly. Assuming he's somehow not traded to Tampa Bay before the season starts, because God,
I swear to God, if that happens, I'm done.
Oh, I don't hate it.
I was wondering when and where he would go, and I think that's where he should be going, right there in the 7th round.
Yeah. I agree.
He's going to play. He's going to play. That's all I got to say. Play.
He's definitely going to play, and I think that he's not only going to play. I think he's going to really excel. I mean, you got to keep in mind he couldn't even practice with the team for more than half of last season, let alone play with the team.
Yeah.
Right. So now, whole off season, chemistry to be built with Baker, and now he's going to have a whole full training camp and full beginning of the season. I think he's going to really show what he showed in Kansas City. And when he was in Kansas City, every time they rolled in to Gillette Stadium, I can tell you I was freaked out about him alone.
Fair enough. All right. Interested to see what Deep Dive does here. He's really done a good job drafting so far. 3 very, very good running backs, 3 very solid receivers.
I am looking at a quarterback right now that I would be shocked if he didn't go right now. Honestly, I can't believe he's still out there. And you talk about solid drafting players, our opponents in this draft. If this guy doesn't go in this round, I'll be surprised. Very surprised.
Jameis Winston?
Damn. Raheem Mostert also we skipped over too as well.
Yeah, see now this Christian Kirk I think could have been there way at the bottom of the 10th round personally.
Yeah, that's a 10th, 11th round pick right there. Luke, that was your first flaw.
Dude, I'm not trying to hate or whatever, but I mean that guy is going to be a secondary option of all secondary options once D-Hop gets going.
He's probably not even going to be on the field.
I don't know about that. I think he's the second wide receiver in that offense.
D-Hop takes up for 2 players. Are we not understanding this?
Yeah.
There's no one else but D-Hop.
Yeah, if you look up the term target monster in the dictionary, they just have a picture of him. He's just looking at you.
Yeah,
like, hey,
he needs to be the target monster.
Yeah. I don't think they brought him down there for anything less. I don't think that the trade is accepted for anything less.
That's who was on my mind.
Sean, is that who you were thinking about?
100%. How did this guy go that late? How did this guy go that late? His playoff run, despite a losing effort, is one of the greatest things I've seen on TV. Really, he is a phenomenal athlete. Yes, he lost D-Hop, but he is the show there, and he is just a fantastic fantasy asset too.
Yep, and I think that really is
Sony Michelle.
There's only one or two running backs or quarterbacks left who I think can really lead us. AJ Green, baby.
Dude, Luke just said that Odell was meant to be a target monster too in Cleveland. I get it. I do get it.
That is true.
I think DeAndre Hopkins was a better receiver than Odell when Odell went to Cleveland, and I think DeAndre Hopkins is still a better receiver despite being in Arizona. And I will actually put money on that with you, pal. He will have more receptions in his first year in Arizona than Odell Beckham even had targets. How about that?
Huh? That's spicy. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
So Keyshawn Vaughn going to Pondo. I was hoping he would come back to me, and unfortunately he doesn't. I think Keyshawn Vaughn is going to be he's going to be a guy that we talk about at the end of the season, like we talked about Ricky Mostert winning people leagues, how we talked about, Tyreek Hill when he was taken, a while back, and when he really broke out on the scene. I think Keyshawn Vaughn is going to dominate for Tampa Bay just based on his skill set. I mean, he's unbelievably talented, an incredible pass catcher, and we all know how Tom Brady likes his pass catching running backs.
Yes, sir.
What an awesome!
Put me on.
Yeah. Listen, that guy is an athlete, and he is thrilled to death that he's going to be playing with Tom Brady, and he's going to have Rob Gronkowski being a blocking tight end for him down there too. I mean, it's going to be an awesome 1-2 punch.
Yep.
Nice. Justin Jefferson. Now
love that pick. I think
again, I am going to repeat what I said the other day. I think eventually we're just going to refer to that guy as Sir. We're talking about an athlete. Nice job.
Yep.
Nice job.
Yep. And he is the second best pass catcher in that offense in my mind. I mean, Kyle Rudolph is good, don't get me wrong, but he is not a spring chicken. Justin Jefferson is going to come in and fill in and get the targets that, Diggs vacated. Dude's a machine. I'm surprised he lasted this long, honestly.
Listen, if the competition that he has for best pass catcher on that team is Kyle Rudolph, I'm just saying that's not really the measuring stick that is going to strike fear in the heart of many men. Just throwing that out there. All due respect to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Viking.
There's some guys on here. Yeah.
We got these rookies flying off the board right now.
Yeah, they feel good about it. They feel real good about it.
Yep.
And I don't blame them.
I like the Ruggs pick. I think he's the best option in that offense. They're going to manufacture touches for Henry Ruggs. They're going to run end arounds and all sorts of backyard bullshit to get him the ball, and deservedly so. The dude is fast.
Yeah, and James Conner was also taken quietly back a couple rounds ago there too. So that's a nice little team he's got there, I think.
Yeah.
RB2? I don't know. That worries me.
RB2.
Matt Breida. He definitely cleaned it up. He cleaned it up with that one.
Good. That's a nice one.
Cleaned it up.
I think they go in a little thunder and lightning there. Breida and Jordan Howard. I think it's a great running back room. I think it's going to frustrate fantasy owners.
For sure. That's going to be a week-to-week frustration trying to find out who's the guy. I would hate to be the guy that has to start Matt Breida week 1.
Yeah, but that being said, I mean, dude's still a stud. So
I think that is a training camp that we are going to have to pay very close attention to. Jordan Howard is a fantastic runner, but does he fit in that system? Breed has been there. He's been there for a few seasons now. Played in some very big games, big moments. He's played with Jimmy G before, too. I think that training camp is going to tell a lot leading into this season. It may not be as big of a debate as we think it is right now sitting here. I think that's a really nice pick.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, I'm definitely going to go wide receiver here because I'm thin. I got my 2 studs, but I need some help kind of bolstering that room a little bit.
Yeah, I see Brandon Ayuk sitting there. What do you think about him?
He's solid.
49ers.
I think he's another guy. I think he's another guy they're going to manufacture touches for because he is great once he gets the ball in his hand. But give me Hollywood. I think he's the best wide receiver on his team. I mean, he was the best wide receiver on his team last year.
Wentz and then Jones.
So, hear me out.
Donald Jones. I'm a little worried about that pick.
Yeah, well, I think he's getting decent value if you get Jones in the 8th round, late in the 8th round. I think he starts out starting in that role. We've talked about Keyshawn Vaughn. I think Keyshawn's going to take over, but if you want a guy for the beginning of the season to help you out a little bit, again, he already has Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders, and Austin Eckler, so he's not relying on Ronald Jones. True. And if Keyshawn Vaughn were to either get hurt or not pan out, he's got another starting running back that he just picked up in the 8th round. So a pick that I kind of want to talk about, Carson Wentz is going a little late off the board as far as quarterbacks go. I think was picked quarterback 10, 11, 12, kind of looks like.
Yeah.
Do you think his value is going to be hurt at all by them drafting Jalen Hurts?
No, not at all. But in reality, it's just kind of like a punch to the nuts for him, being that they took a quarterback in the 2nd round. It's kind of like, why?
I think that Doug Peterson is going to get real creative with that offense, and I think they are going to use Jalen Hurts in very unique packages, and I think that hurts Carson Wentz a little bit. In the same way that Taysom Hill hurts Drew Brees, right? There are going to be a couple of 1, 2, 3 plays every game where they're going to give Jalen Hurts an opportunity, and if he scores a touchdown and kind of takes that away from Wentz, it's going to happen here and there. I'm surprised Aaron Rodgers lasted as long as he did. I would have taken him over Jimmy G, Baker Mayfield for sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well,
I shot.
I really always liked playing this guy in daily fantasy. I just I like the hooper scooper, so I'm gonna scoop up the hoop.
The pooper scoopers in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. He is in Cleveland. I think it's an interesting situation. The Browns were not a great team last year, but Austin Hooper was an awesome talent, and I think that his talent could shine through for me. And I think I'm going to do something a little bit crazy here, and I'm just saying this out loud. I don't know why, but I'm gonna handcuff myself right here.
Ooh,
I don't hate it.
Not bad.
I don't hate it. I mean, if you're going to handcuff,
might as well.
Yep. And I like the Hooper pick. I think that Cleveland runs a ton of 12 personnel next year. A ton. I think 70% of the time, what you're going to see out there on the field is Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., Austin Hooper, and David Njoku, and then some combination of Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. Yeah, give that to me all day. All day.
Yep.
Full set.
I mean, I think that the big things are the defense is going to be better and the offensive line is going to be better. And I think that those two things are really going to be keys to seeing that team improve, seeing what Baker really has, and any chemistry he's developed that wasn't there with a guy like OBJ.
Yep. Will Fuller, I like the pick there. That's only his 3rd wide receiver. So that does – I'm a little nervous for him there, but –
yeah, man. Oh, my God. He's hurting at wide receiver.
He is.
What Ertz and Kelsey make up for one replacement of one of those wide receivers because they're going to be in the flex.
And while we take this draft moment here, this is the Real Deal Fantasy official mock draft after the real NFL draft. And if there's any sponsorships available,
let's get that high life.
We're just saying. We're just saying.
If there is a beer company sponsor, I am all in.
Hopefully they don't sue me.
There's some interesting guys left. A guy who went way early in a mock draft that we did before. Let's see if LQ knows who I'm talking about, but he could be the number one receiver in that offense. There hasn't been a receiver taken from this offense yet, and we'll see. Somebody's got to catch passes. Might as well be Darius Slayton.
Wow.
He played well at the end of the year last year.
Slayton the Dragon.
Yeah.
Sure did.
There's a ton of competition. The Giants didn't draft a wide receiver this year, or at least draft a high prospect. They still have, the king of yak in Golden Tate, but give me Darius Slayton. I think the closest thing they have to a true number one wide receiver. I think Sterling Shepard and Golden Tate are great compliments, but I think Darius Slayton's a stud. And somebody heard me talking about Daniel Jones and decided to draft him. I don't know if that's going to work out, but hey, what do you know?
Danny Dimes is QB1.
How do you feel about drafting
QB1 there?
Do you guys
I think it depends on who you have.
Okay.
It depends on if you. So, for example, the guy who drafted Russell Wilson has. I don't think he's missed a start since he's been starting in the NFL. So I wouldn't have drafted granted, he's one of the guys who did draft a backup quarterback. But in my mind, if my guy's not getting hurt, like Russell Wilson was a rock. Phillip Rivers has started, how many games in a row? Granted, he's not a fantasy guy this year, but in the past, I might, for a guy like Lamar Jackson, if you're taking a risk on a guy like, say Joe Burrow's your starting quarterback, then you maybe pair him with somebody else. But yeah, if you have a guy like an Aaron Rodgers, or you have a guy like, I don't know, Patrick Mahomes, like I'm not drafting a backup. Yeah. I know Patrick Mahomes got hurt last year, but if he's going to be hurt for 3 games, I can find a fill-in for 3 games. It's not worth a draft spot.
True.
Yeah, true. I've never drafted two quarterbacks, except for the year that I think I drafted Baker Mayfield, my final pick, and that was more of a gimmick because he was the number 1 overall. But I think the philosophy here is that with quarterbacks, especially if you're taking one early, you're really expecting that quarterback to ride that season for you.
Yep.
And taking a second one on the bench is probably going to be a drop spot when somebody else gets injured, or another free agent really pops. Week 2 or week 3.
I agree 100%.
I want to apologize. I made a mistake there when I was talking about Matt Breida being traded to the Dolphins and working with Jordan Howard. It's because Miller High Life's are so delicious that I completely lost my head, and I am very sorry for that. So my fantasy misinformation to be blamed on our future sponsor, Miller High Life. There he is. Thanks.
On our future sponsor. I love it. Nyheim Hines.
My last pick. Let's go.
Okay.
That makes a statement right there.
It does make a statement. Is it a statement that we're probably going to lose this one? Or what's the statement? What's the statement? Austin
Eckler 2.0, but just the Walmart version.
Yeah.
Great value.
Yeah, I love confidence.
Okay. Phillip Rivers is going to check down to this guy over and over and over. When they need the yardage, Jonathan Taylor will come in and get it.
John Brown. I think that's a good pick there.
That's a sneaky pick right
there. Yeah, definitely.
Holy shit. We're at 214 right now of watchers. Did anybody just see that?
Woo, sir.
Hey,
let's go.
If we make it to 250, I'll open my second Miller High Life. Let's go.
Holy shit.
Look,
Let's go. People are thirsty for the mock draft after the draft.
I don't know how this guy's
Thanks for
still
coming.
available. How is this guy still available? This is unbelievable. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, give me the best wide receiver on an offense that throws a lot.
Oh, yeah, but the only problem is, are you worried about his shoulder at all?
I mean, I could be, but even if I am, I still have Michael Thomas and Julio Jones.
Yeah,
Marquise
you're good
Brown.
either way. You're good.
Man.
You're good either way. You got a guy that's going to be riding the bench that could step up at any moment.
Did you literally just puff your chest out with Alshon Jeffrey? You did.
Look, I'll take him.
Check it out. I got Michael Thomas. I got Julio Jones. I don't really care about shoulders.
Which I don't know how that happened. That is a crazy combination. You'll be killing it every week.
Yeah,
I don't think there will be many drafts where Julio Jones falls to the 8th pick of the second round. I don't think there will be many drafts that happens. He is too good.
No way.
Man, I feel a lot of pressure coming on.
I was gonna say you got Mr. Irrelevant. How you feeling?
Yeah, I know. Well, Mr. Irrelevant is so interesting because I'm just going to talk this through since nobody else can pick anything here. I just want to talk a couple big names that weren't picked. Philip Lindsay not on the board. Curtis Samuel not on the board.
Yep.
Let's see. Who else here? Marvin Jones Jr. not on the board. O.J. Howard not on the board. Corey Davis, James White.
Damian Williams.
So
Dede Westbrook. I was about to say Zay Jones, and then I made myself laugh.
I think there's a glaring name that's not on the board that I think it's because Sleeper hasn't updated yet that he's not there. But Gronk not being taken to me is egregious.
Yes, Gronk was the missing link.
Yeah. The fact that Gronk
is Gronk in the system? I can't even find him.
Yeah,
Gronk is there.
Yep. He is.
Gronk
his
is
ADP
right there.
is currently 999. So I think that's why it's not showing up. Yeah.
I'm seriously searching Gronk and I can't find him.
Yeah, I had to type in his name.
999.
It doesn't. I'm not going to take Gronk. I think the thing about it is, I need to do something here that I probably would never do previously, and take a second quarterback. And I'll tell you why. I do think that there are going to be situations in this coming season where not just because of I can't even take him. I was going to take Drew Lock. Okay, I'll tell you here. I think that there is going to be situations this season, unlike other seasons, where situationally there might be times when having a Drew Lock who now has 3 very good weapons at his disposal, plus Noah Fant too.
Yep.
I think that there might be reason to look at a Drew Lock, even if he's not a name like a Wentz or a Mahomes or a Jackson. I think Drew Lock is going to be a really sneaky play, and I wanted to give him a shout out here on this draft. So I am here now, but instead, I will let you close it out, my friend.
Yeah, Sean, when you're doing your daily fantasy write-ups this year, I could see you throwing Drew Lock around a little bit. I think he's going to be a guy who, in the right matchup, I think he's going to be a great use of those fantasy dollars.
I can tell you this right now. There is going to be some starting quarterbacks that listen, if you ever read any of my fantasy, my daily fantasy stuff, you can find it at the Real Deal WordPress site, Real Deal Fantasy WordPress site, and I push it out on Twitter before every lock on an NFL regular game day. So please give me a follow at Delray Boston if you need to follow. But one thing I will tell you right now, one of the last things I pick every single lineup I do is my quarterback. Positionally, you can have so much value there with guys that are playing with lesser defenses that need to be throwing and need to be participating, and they're going to score you points. I can tell you right now, Drew Lock is going to be a guy you're going to hear a lot about in my articles, because DraftKings is not going to respect him in regards to a value unless all of a sudden the Broncos go on some sort of crazy run. But more importantly, you look at their schedule and who they're going to have to play. I think Drew Lock is going to be an awesome daily fantasy asset, and I think he'd be a great, bye-week quarterback to waiver wire pickup for your season long team.
Oh yeah,
I like that. All right.
Definitely. Ooh, this was one hell of a draft, fellas.
Yeah, I think it's nice to finally have these rookies.
Very exciting.
Definitely.
We killed it today, fellas.
Awesome time. It was awesome to see the rookies go as they went. Clearly, people paid attention. I don't know if you saw the news that draft that the NFL ran this past weekend, highest viewed draft of all time.
Yeah.
So I think that this rookie class is going to have so many eyeballs on them, many more than normal. Because people got to see those video packages that they did a really nice job on, and 6 talking heads on the TV talking about each individual player. That was really incredible if you think about it. Yeah, so I think this is a big class. It's not too surprising that we had a lot of rookies go so early because of that, and I think it's going to be an awesome season to watch. And let's all pray that we get it off the ground.
Oh yeah, I cannot wait until the season starts, fellas. I just want to see these rookies perform, get the opportunity, get the chance, and bring some points to my fantasy team, of course. So we definitely got to do this again. I'm thinking we do this again Thursday, man. I mean, obviously people are thirsty to get these mock drafts going, and people watching, and people want to participate. So I think we got to up how many times we do this.
Okay.
Look, you call, I answer. That's how phones work. You just got to let me know, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
You're the man.
I'll see you guys Thursday for another mock draft then.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a good night. Stay safe.
Peace out, everybody.